Hey guys, so this is kind of like an informal vlog, but something I think that a lot of women should hear, and men too, because men go through it, but this is mainly about women. We both have very similar situation.
Very hard situation that I think a lot of women are very ashamed and embarrassed to talk about if they have experienced what we're going through or have gone through, because in society's eyes, as women, we're the ultimate caretakers of our children.
Right. And I get a lot of questions like, where are your kids, on YouTube, and I've wanted to keep that personal, and I have for a really long time, but it's time to speak out. I think.
I've known Jamie for a few years. We went to beauty school together, and as you probably learned by now, we're both mothers of beautiful children, and we have a lot in common in this situation. We both currently don't have our children. We could go on and on about the reasons why, but to say the least, I believe that we have both been taken advantage of by our exes and by the court system.
Definitely. Not having a lawyer, being in a position where your side, my side of the family doesn't have the money for a lawyer, and the other side has money, and I think that has a lot to do with it, is money.
Yeah, definitely. As we were talking about yesterday, I believe in what I've learned over the years is that I think the court system and attorneys all, play in hand with each other. And if you don't have an attorney, in my situation where I had trial last month, and my ex did get awarded full custody of my 3 children, I was pro se, which means you don't have an attorney. You're representing yourself ultimately. And he did have an attorney, and that was a huge factor to why he got granted full custody. And I don't know if you've ran into that issue.
Well, with me, at the very beginning, I was going to school, and I was working. I was going to school to become a nurse, and our agreement was that he would get the tax money, and I'd get the kids every other weekend and throughout the week. And that happened, I had my visitations, with the kids, and everything was going great until someone else comes into his life, and then everything stopped. And they want me to sign my rights over. No. Why would I do that when someone treats me so disgustingly?
Yeah. I believe that men think in this situation they can be powerful and try to bully us around. Like, as I was talking the other day as well, I believe that men, I don't know if any of you women or men have been in a situation where your ex has tried to bully you around, to try to get you to break or snap, just so they could try and use that against you in court,
Yeah.
And I just want everybody to know that if your ex is trying to do that, they're gonna, do everything in their power to try to use that against you in court. And so you got to keep level-headed. Otherwise, you will get screwed over.
It's really hard. I haven't seen my children. It's very hurtful. How can I even say that I haven't seen my children in a couple of years? And
I think that we carry around a sense of guilt, Jamie, even though we know ultimately we were the best thing for our children. We were mothers to our children. We were their caretakers. We loved them inside and out, day in and day out. I would do it over in a heartbeat. And they always say that we live here in Washington State. They always say Washington State is a mom state. That's not true. It's really not true. And you know, it's Christmas time right now, and I can't say I haven't seen my kids in a couple years. It has been, you know, a month and a half for me, but losing full custody and my ex having full custody is new, and we're both going through this hard time with the holidays and stuff. And it's, I don't know about you, but for me it's hard to even just be in the store or be on somebody's Facebook, you know, like my friends, and see pictures of their family, and
Yep.
you know,
Seeing pictures of my children hurts. I know that sounds so weird, but just
No.
like, I wish I could just reach through the picture and just grab them, you know?
mm-hmm.
It just seems so unfair. I have to go to court. I'm in contempt of court for non-payment of child support. And we had an agreement that he would have the tax return, you know, and then when someone else came into his life, all of a sudden, oh, I want child support, you know, which is fine. I'll give you money, but let me see my kids, you know? Like,
Yeah, there's got to be, I believe, a give and take in the relationship. And it's so funny, during the course of your marriage or relationship, they say that, oh, I would never do this to you, I'd never keep the kids away from you.
yeah.
And then when the truth boils down, you know, they're, from my experience, and it sounds like from yours also, very evil and vindictive, and do anything in their power to try to hurt us. And they know what's going to hurt us the most is
Taking your children
taking
away.
the children
And,
away.
you know, I get understanding when you have a divorce and you split up and you're with somebody else. I understand, but there can be two families.
Mm-hmm.
You can be civil.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to rip your kids away from their mother,
No, it's not fair. Like,
especially when you haven't done anything.
exactly.
Like,
And that's
are
the
you
most
kidding me?
frustrating part about this, Jamie, is that, you know, you and I both know that we've done nothing wrong. And I mean, we could go on forever and tell you the whole story about what's happened in our relationships and stuff. But ultimately, you know, I am a Christian woman, and one day there's going to come a time where, you know, these men are judging us for, because, you know, we moved on, or just because we fell out of love with them, or, you know, in my situation it goes way beyond that. But God is going to judge them one day. You know, it's hard for me not to try to judge my ex for what he's done, because, oh my gosh, it hurts. It
Yeah.
hurts more than anything I've ever experienced in my life. And as I said before, they're going to do what they possibly can to make us break. And when we haven't done anything wrong, it's just empty. You know, I talk to my counselor every week, and sense of complete emptiness is what I'm experiencing.
From the pit of your stomach, it's
Mm-hmm.
empty. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I've in the past, you know, I've had to call the cops to be able to see my children, and then I got lawyer papers, and I could go on and on and on, but just like, hard to explain. Like, I felt like I was naive at the time too,
Mm-hmm.
when I got divorced. I mean, I was divorced for like 6 years now, I think.
Well, and you never thought you'd be in this situation.
Never in my
your
life.
life.
Like, I didn't think that, you know, someone else would just try and rip my kids away
Mm-hmm.
from me. There's no point in it whatsoever. You know, I'm totally willing to be civil.
Mm-hmm. All you want to do is have a civil co-parenting relationship with your ex.
Yeah.
For those babes, they have precious, innocent hearts. And what I was gonna say earlier is that, you know, these exes of ours, and your guys too, maybe, you know, as I said, maybe women are in this situation, or men, they're doing it for their own selfish reasons. They're not thinking of the children at all. They're not thinking of what's best for the kids. And that's, you know, they're out there trying to hurt us That's exactly it. They're trying to play a game with us, and they don't know what they're doing to our beautiful children.
Yeah, I mean, not having communication with my children is heartbreaking. I gave birth to them. I breastfed my children. I took care of them. I worked every day. I did everything in my power. I'm the one who found out my son was diabetic. I mean, I was the mother. I am the mother.
You always will be too. You know, and those children know that. And as we were talking about earlier inside about how, you know, I haven't experienced this yet, but I know one day that I will, where another woman comes into my ex's life, and where the situation that they would call her mom. You were just saying that that's happened.
Yeah, my children call, you know, their stepmother mom, which is okay because, you know, they're in a relationship. I understand, but it hurts, you know, and it hurt when my daughter told me, Mommy, so-and-so said you're worthless and that stretch marks are ugly.
Oh my gosh.
Who says that to a little girl?
Somebody that doesn't have the children's best interest, and that's what I'm saying. It's all a cycle. It's like, sometimes I feel like, Jamie, it's like, you know, it's like never ending circle. Like, no matter what we do, we can't get forward. It's like banging your head against a wall ultimately. Like, no matter what you say or what you do to these guys, we're the evil bitch, excuse me, or whatever, that ruined their life because we fell out of love with them.
It's such a hard subject, and like people, I just want to get it out there, you know, that, you know, I am trying my hardest. I want my children, I want them to know I love them. I want them to know that. I mean,
every day there's not a second that goes by that we don't think of our kids and that we want to be with our kids. And I mean, I don't know about you, but every morning I wake up and that's the first thing I think about, even before I open my eyes.
I have night terrors every single night because of this. Every night. Danny can attest to it. My mom can attest to it. I scream at night because I dream of my kids. And I'll call out their names, or it's ruining me. And I don't want this to ruin my life. I want a relationship with my children. And I think there is a fair and civil way to do that.
There completely is. You know, and as I was stating, I don't know how. Like, I would never do this to my ex.
I would never do this either, ever.
And they're the father of our children, and I'm not saying that Andrew, my ex, is perfect by any means, because trust me, there's a lot of issues there, and that's the reason why we got divorced. But he is the father of my children, and there is a lot of room for improvement. But I would never keep the children from him.
Yeah, I would never either. I mean, I remember having this conversation with my ex-husband while, was it Kate plus 8? Remember that show on TLC? John and Kate were going through a divorce, and it was messy. And I remember we were both laying in bed, and we said that, you know, if we ever were to get divorced, we would never do this to our children.
Right. Yeah, no, I've had that conversation too, and that's not how it goes down.
It's not fair, and I desperately need a lawyer. It's hard to come up with, you know, $5,000, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's minimum. I mean, from my experience, I mean, the cheapest attorney I found, down payment was $2,500. I mean, one attorney here in the town we live in actually quoted me $15,000 just to represent me at trial. For y'all that aren't familiar with that, that's just one court date. $15,000 for one court date.
Yeah.
But we just kind of wanted to talk about our experience, you know, because we have so much similarities in the situation, and we just really thought that talking about it, maybe other women won't feel ashamed. And we just want you guys to know that you're not alone, and we know exactly what you're going through. And we understand it's the worst feeling in the world. And men out there too, if your ex is doing this to you, you know, nobody deserves this.
I am disabled, but that should not be able to keep me away from my children.
No,
you know,
not at
just
all.
because I have lupus and a heart problem and anxiety. Mainly my anxiety because
The children
of
are
the
gone.
because my kids are gone.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was explaining about that cycle. It's all
Yeah.
a cycle that it seems like you cannot get out of. Like, I was talking to my counselor about it. It's like a cycle of insanity. It just goes around and around no matter what you can do. Everything that the courts asked you to do, like my situation, I did everything, passed with flying colors. But still, somehow, you know, I got screwed over. And you just feel helpless, but you got to keep pushing on.
I will do anything, and it's so hard because I was in such a deep depression that it was hard to do anything. You know, like
Oh yeah.
being in such a deep depression, you don't want to get up, you don't want to go on. But I'm finding the strength in myself now to fight.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know how a woman can control you if you're watching this video. I don't know how a woman can control you to not let me see my children.
Yeah.
And you telling me that I'm not with the parenting plan? Are you kidding me? I would do anything to see my kids. I have even tried to leave you guys alone, you know?
Yeah.
To have...
I forget your ex's girlfriend's name, but I just want you to try and put yourself in Jamie's shoes for 1 minute. If the roles were turned, how would you feel if she was doing this to you?
I mean, could you imagine having your babies taken away from you? No, you couldn't.
You can imagine it, but nobody, you know, like, I appreciate my mom's support and everybody's support, but you do not know that feeling unless it's actually happened to you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're not expecting sympathy at all from this video whatsoever. We're doing this to, as I said, to reach out. You're not alone.
To other women, because it can't just be the two of us.
No, and it's not talked about, as we talked about earlier, because
Yeah, this is not talked about.
everybody's ashamed of it, and it's not correct for the mothers to have the children, you know. And so that we decided to make this video.
Yeah.
So, I there is days I am ashamed of myself, you know, a lot. Like I feel I beat myself up a lot, you know, being like, what did you do? What could you have done better? But then I know that that's, you know, the other side trying to get to me,
Right.
trying to bring me down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what they want, you know, is for you to trip up. So,
Yeah. I don't know. I just want everything to be civil. I don't want problems. People are going to be like, why didn't you pay your child support? Well, you know, that's nobody's business until that comes to court. You know. They've taken my rights away, so basically, by not letting me see my children, they should be in contempt of court.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's what's so mind-boggling about that.
Like, hello? I mean, I just want to see my kids.
Yeah.
That is all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy for my ex to have, you know, a wife, a girlfriend. That is fine, but gosh, I'm like, can we be civil?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why we can't be civil? I mean, really?
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no reason why. that's all we want, is to have a healthy
Relationship.
with our exes for
Yeah.
our children, not for the other sex's benefit, for our children.
Right.
It's all about the kids. It's not about me and Andrew. It's not about, to him, that's what it's about.
Right.
I don't know if, that's how your ex feels, but that's exactly how Andrew feels, is that he still thinks it's about me and him. No, I'm sorry, honey. It's about the kids. Our three kids.
Yep, it's definitely about the children. When I had my daughter, my first daughter, she almost died, and I almost died, and I didn't get to see her for a couple days after birth. It was heartbreaking and heart-wrenching, and it brings me back to that feeling of like not having my baby. Like, oh my God, like they just whisked my baby away and I had no idea what was happening. I don't know what's happening in my children's lives.
Right.
I don't get pictures.
Right.
I don't get anything.
Even though there's nothing saying that he can't send you photos, he's just choosing to be selfish and bitter, and to treat our exes us like crap just for the pleasure of it, I believe, honestly.
And I don't know if it's, just because of the woman in his life wanting to take over the role of being the mom in the house. Well, you can be a mom too, but you can also let the biological mother
Well, yeah.
be their mother.
You would think.
I don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me. If Danny had small children and, like, he's going through a divorce or whatever, I would never take his children away from the mom. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I would never, ever
Yeah.
do that to someone.
Yeah.
Ever.
No. I mean, unless if there's an obvious, legitimate reason, but
Right.
in our situations, there's, and as I was stating earlier, Judgment Day will come for our exes, and, yeah, I don't know, Jamie, but, I'm glad I have you
I know,
to
I'm glad.
relate to you.
Like, I know, I haven't had anyone for so long to, like, really understand. I've had supporters,
Mhm.
but no one really understands. And now I have someone
Yeah.
who understands.
And we didn't really know we were both in this situation because, once again, to the main topic, we were ashamed of talking about it.
Yeah.
So, my suggestion and advice is, if y'all are in this situation, open up about it. Talk to somebody, because it's really helped me.
Yeah, I don't know if there's online support groups or not, but, if you're going through something, go ahead and, leave it in the comments. I ask that there is no hate towards anything. I'll block you, and it won't be shown. These will be moderated. The comments will be moderated.
It's supposed to be for inspiration and hope for women and men, that you're not alone, and that, don't let them break you.
Yeah.
Don't let them break you. Think about your children. Real quick, my children's Hunter, he's 6, Holden, he's 2, and Miss Aspen is 1. Those are my 3 beautiful children.
They're so gorgeous. And my oldest is almost 14, and
she's so beautiful.
my son is gonna be 13, and my twins are 10. They're gonna be 11. This time flies, and I don't want to miss those years.
Yeah,
I've prayed and prayed. So
Don't stop. Don't stop. And if anybody wants prayer requests or anything, also just let me know, and I will definitely say a prayer for you.
yeah, definitely. So
Starting to get dark.
yeah, it is getting dark, so we just wanted to come on, and I kind of wanted to, I don't know how much I shared, but I'm just going through a lot.
I think we should, come back in a couple days and do an update,
Yeah.
definitely, and just kind of maybe open up more about, you know, what the events that took place in our lives to lead us up to this point, you know, because
Yeah.
there's two sides to every story, and I've never, you know, lied about it, you know.
Right.
So.
And I have no intentions to slander anybody or
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
wish ill upon anyone.
Mhm.
I care as much as it's hard to say. I care for my ex and I care for his girlfriend. And that's hard to say, but I met her one time. And I just hope that you're taking good care of them while I'm not there. And I hope that you'll let me see my children. I will see them.
Yep.
In
Your
time.
mom. Your mom. Don't give up.
Anyways, okay. Well, we'll update you guys. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you in my next video.
Much love.
Bye.
Nice meeting y'all.
This is Karen. Oh my gosh.